Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Strategos. We are diving back in thanks to the developer who went ahead and gave me access to his development build of the game. So keep in mind everything you're seeing is still very much a work in progress and we might run into performance issues, bugs, etc. balancing, but just keep in mind that this is very gracefully given to me by the developer, so I very much do appreciate it, so I can show off some more stuff whilst the demos are down on Steam. If you guys didn't see my last video, or you also haven't seen this game at all, it's basically very much a thinking man strategy game. If you guys have seen games like Field of Glory before, I believe it uses the same tabletop system as that game. However, unlike Field of Glory, which is turn-based, this is real time, allowing you to dispatch orders from your commanders, engage in hectic battles, and just outmaneuver your opponent. This is truly a hardcore thinking man strategy game, and I love it. And I imagine if you're on the channel, you're very much in that camp as well. I'm sure there's still many a fan from Rome to DEI on the channel, which is just one of the ultimate battle mods out there. So what I thought would be kind of fun to do is just jump in and play as one of the campaigns. Again, these aren't going to be super large scale to begin with, but obviously they build up. In this one, you start off in the campaigns of Alexander, and you of course start off with Philip's war for the whole of Greece. And then as you progress, you'll move obviously up when Philip dies and Alexander takes control. You'll make your way over and start fighting a lot more Persian forces. This initial one is the engagement between the Athenians and the Macedonians, where Alexander's on the left flank charging in and does his epic maneuver. We do get to pick a couple of our units that we can mess around with. Some of these units are going to be locked in, but for example, we can choose to take a unit of Thessalonica cavalry, or we could type that down into more of a larger scale, taking these light cavalry who have javelins, can get stuck in, harass the enemy, but aren't obviously going to be doing as much impactful damage as Thessalonica cavalry. I believe, yeah, we're stuck with those guys, we're stuck with these guys, and then we can choose between slingers and stuff. And this will be different depending on the battle. We're going to be playing on the default difficulty just so you guys can see it, and we're going to dive in and see exactly what Alexander can do on this battlefield, as I know the Athenian army is pretty heavy in infantry and they're very much lacking cavalry, so we actually obviously have to use that to our advantage. Okay, so here we are on the battlefield right here. We have our army up here in the far left. These are the percentages of the armies that are left on the battlefield. We have our unit cards down here. As you guys can see, we have a mix of cavalry mixed in with some hoplites and some pikemen. These pikemen aren't exactly the strongest in the world, but they'll do decently. They'll hold the line and get stuff done. You can see they're disciplined as well, which is nice. We also get access to a few abilities down here in the bottom left. We can tell them to not charge out of line of sight. We can stick them on guard mode. We can tell them to push or fall back, which is quite nice. So if we want to try and push the enemy back to cause distortion in their battle lines, we can do that, and vice versa. If we want to try and lure the enemy into more of a can situation, we can also do that by telling a unit to fall back. And recoil is very much used on cavalry. I mean, actually, yeah, these pikemen can't use it. You can use recoil to actually go and smash into the enemy and basically hammer an anvil, pull back, and then give the order to charge once again. One of the more interesting things about the battle system in this game, before we get started, is going to be the courier system right here, in the bottom left. We currently have 25 couriers available, and as units die, that will reduce down depending on if our commanders are hit. Basically, we have a command range right here, and if units are outside of this command range, commanders are going to have to send orders, and you'll visibly see a unit leaving the command unit to go and basically give them the order, which means if you send a lot of cavalry out onto a flank or something, and it's going to take a long time for them to actually get their orders to come. There are situations where you can queue up orders and stuff, which is not a bad idea, but again, it's always a good idea to kind of have units all set up in the line. So I believe this is going to be Alexander's unit right here. You can see his command and his leadership being extremely high, and his companion cavalry. We have some light horse available. These guys are of course not going to be doing anything serious, but they're good for charging down skirmishers and obviously helping out elsewhere. Companion cavalry is going to be great. As I said, we have a pretty weak line of them pikemen, and then we also have these mercenary hoplites as well. We have 2 units of those, I believe, on either flank, kind of anchoring that, and then some weaker units. So yeah, I think for the most part, we're pretty decent here. I'm going to set my line like so, and then for my infantry, we are going to select everybody besides you, and obviously we want them as well. I'm going to probably just strip them out a little bit, because I know for a fact that the enemy are going to have a little bit more infantry than us, but no cavalry, so we're going to use that to our advantage. And there you go, we can take a look at the enemy forces right there. Yeah, a lot more of these Athenian cavalry right here. Yeah, so if we select anyone, yeah, these are Theban hoplites. So these are actually proper, you know, well-trained soldiers. These are above average in their units, very aggressive spears as well, so it can be good on charging. You can see they're commanding right there, the Athenian hoplites right there. Behind, they have some raw hoplite recruits in reserve, and then a much larger missile line than us. You can also see the command structure right here. So these units are being all commanded right there. Luckily, these guys are close enough that the orders can be passed down the line without too many issues. So right now, if I ordered this unit to move, it will move as long as these units are also moving, which is kind of cool. We of course have our cavalry little detachment out here, which is nice. We need to be careful though. So one thing that you might think you'd be wanting to do right away is charge your cavalry down at these light javelin men. Well, stuff that can happen is units can get really locked into charging. Of course, if in a real battle, if cavalry come flying down the flank to charge down these hoplites, there's so much smoke and their order is to charge these guys, they'll follow these guys and maybe end up getting caught up in hoplites. You know, this very much is not like a total war battle where you can just out micro your opponent. This is all about macro, and I personally really do like that. You can also see as well, orders have been given as well. There's a courier going out there to go and give some orders to this specific unit that I guess has fallen behind right now. So what we're going to do is we are going to push up some of our bowmen, and we can take a look at our range as well. Yeah, so they're about to come into range of our line. So let's focus down a few on these slingers right here, and we'll focus there, and then this unit can also maybe focus down on this flank right there. The nice thing is that this unit is coming out to kind of meet me. So what I might try and do is I might try and get this unit like out to here, and then what we're going to do, so you can see it moved immediately. We're just going to charge this, I think, actually. Yeah, let's come in here. They're going to run away from us, probably get a volley off on us, and then they're going to run away. So you can see we're going to get in, and there, as you can see. But now, again, just to show this off, we're going to hit them. Can we recoil as well? Yeah, I'm going to turn on recoil mode. So we just ordered them, which was nice. But as you can see, I can order them to go back. But the courier right there, luckily they're recoiling, so it's not too bad. But look at that. You can see right there, we're getting like, my orders aren't there quite yet, and we're all getting moved back pretty aggressively. Right now, though, I'm pretty happy with how this is going. So let's, bring these guys back. They now have got orders. We're doing a pretty good job across the board here as well with our missile line. Yeah, as I said, nothing too crazy going on right here. As we go down, the cavalry's going to make their way back in. As I said, I think I want to try and bait the enemy out a little bit. It's hard to, like, decide exactly where we want to go. So this cavalry is getting hit now by the missiles, which is fine. We're going to probably move around this flank now, and I think we're going to push forward our infantry. I want to kind of stay out of the rough ground, but I think maybe I push this flank up like so, and we look to engage them. You can see as well, the AI has a lot of strength in their lines, and we're gonna lose this engagement right here for sure. You can also see as well as units move through one another, that also is never a good sign. So let's maybe take this light cavalry, and we can probably tell them to attack again. And then we're going to look to pounce. So you can see they really have that flank on me. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this. I'm going to move up my general because he obviously moved immediately. I'm going to bring out some light cavalry and try and draw some of their infantry around. We are losing a pretty hefty amount. Okay, cool. You can also see as well the AI is pushing in a little bit there, really going in on that flank. Okay, so let's get our front line then. And I think we're going to push them up a little bit now as well. Yeah, let's push them up a little bit, move the missiles back. The good thing is as well here, so if we pause it, you'll see we fragmented this. Again, if you've never played Field of Glory, you're probably not going to know what this does. But basically, combat is in real time and everything. However, every so often, there's basically a bunch of ability checks going on behind the combat log right here. You'll see there's ability checks going on constantly throughout the battle when certain situations arise. In melee combat and units are fully engaged, they're going to be rolling a dice basically every so often to see who wins that engagement for that round, and whoever does win will do more damage to the opponents. And as you continue to progress down and defeat the enemy lines and do damage to them, they'll start getting into these worsened states. I think it's disorganized, fragmented, and then broken. And as they get broken down into those states, they will end up getting less stats, so they'll be more likely to lose out in the battle and then take more damage. And it's kind of like a snowball effect. You can also find yourself in situations where you end up in a pretty aggressive mass rout as well. So a lot of the time you'll find yourself, one unit will break, and then as them units break, other units will have to take the disorganized state, and again, it'll continue on like this. So I'm happy with how we've performed right here. Being able to bring down this unit of skirmishers is nice, and this unit of light cavalry. You can see it has actually taken some damage on its unit as well, right here, down to 48. You can also see that the unit cards aren't here at the moment. It's not exactly like they're doing an insane job. So once again, let's bring out the cavalry a little bit more to this flank. These guys are going to need to have some messengers sent to them, but that's fine. A lot of my missiles are now being smashed, so we will bring them back as the line does go up. One thing I don't think I can see is my unit. I'm pressing like a few buttons and it doesn't seem like I can see where my units are going to, which is a bit frustrating. It'd be nice if that was the case, but it's fine. So cavalry is lining up. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this unit of companion cavalry. Yeah, it's not Alexander. So we're going to push up these guys just overall, but I might end up leading this unit into a charge. Let's bring up, there's also not a bad idea as well to have these guys in position. So we're going to push up, our pikes are in. Units will also just charge each other as well. So you can see this happening right away. Our pikes have now engaged right here, and this thing is ticking. You can also see if you hover over the outcome of the battle. So right now, I believe we have a 66% chance of winning this combat every time it ticks over. We'll have to see if it's actually the case. You can see the timer ticking down and every time it'll go over. So I believe that's in our favor, right? Yeah, if I select this unit, just to double check, yeah. We have a 66% chance of winning this combat every single time, and that will hopefully give us some good advantages. I believe so anyway. Yeah, it does say we'll win this, and then they'll take damage, more damage than us, than we will, and again vice versa. Over here might be a different situation, though. We can't see it quite yet because they haven't fully clashed. Yeah, but it might be a different situation. You can see right here as well, like the lines are pretty awkward right away. We do actually have the opportunity to bring this unit around as well, which is quite nice because they have not. So yeah, let's go and tell this unit to charge into their flank right there, which is quite, yeah, I think they've already been given that order right now. So that's perfect. This unit does need to come up here as well. So this is a command unit as well. So this will move up and maybe just charge into their command unit, get a nice little flank, which means these guys are in a pretty tricky situation right now. We can send this unit of cavalry like all the way around, but we need to be careful not to overcommit here. So what I think I might do is if these guys can, oh, you can already start to see the formation is breaking as well. So again, we now no longer have like an organized line like so. Oh yeah, okay, you press control and it shows you where they're going, which is really nice. These guys are being forced to charge right now because they're too close to the enemy line, so they're turning in. So we can probably just come around here now, just tell them guys to hold, and ideally I would love for these guys to hold, but they might be forced to charge. Yeah, I think they're charging in. I tell them to guard and then maybe hold them back a little bit. I don't know, we're going to have to see. Either way, let's go back on to playing. So we'll play. As I said, I want to show off this so you can see we did 1 damage. They did 1 damage to us, but we did 2 to them. However, they held them at morale. We also have some archers firing in on the flank as well. These guys have now engaged here, and we did 24 damage on that unit. That is a lot of damage. And then we also have this cavalry now making its way in. So we want to basically bring these horses in. And you can see like the way the battle runs, like all of these guys are now having couriers move everywhere. General dead as well. Whoa. I think we just killed, yeah, we just killed their general in that battle. That was really unlucky by them, especially as they're coming in my flank here as well, which is never good. Okay, I mean, that's huge. Killing the general forces everybody in the surrounding area to take a morale test. And you can see these guys got disorganized because of that. They failed it. This unit got disorganized as well. This unit got fragmented. So mass routes are a really, really big thing in it. Right now, our right flank is just holding and we're kind of cleaning up. The AI has kind of left their units back here a little bit too late, so we can bring up Alexander and the rest of the boys. We'll continue to do so. We also have this light cavalry as well, which will continue to keep up with everybody else. This R5 is going in. You can see we're doing a lot of damage here in the center, especially as we're cleaning this up. Yeah, that general dying is huge. These pikes are going to be forced to probably engage. We're engaged here as well with these hoplites. Hoplites probably aren't going to win this. We have a good chance of actually winning it, but again, it's all about keeping that morale high and not like, not over succumbing to, a unit can be losing combats, but have higher morale and be able to just outlast the enemy. So the good thing is we managed to break the enemy right here, which is perfect. We are also playing on slow-mo as well, by the way, just in case you weren't sure. We can give the order here. I'm still not 100% sure why it's an X. Again, this game has, it's too far away to actually charge, but now, okay, it tells me on the tool tab, which is amazing. So we can come up here, we can bring up this cavalry as well. We need to be a little bit careful because their hoplites are coming in. But yeah, now this unit can come in. This unit is getting pushed back. But that's fine as well because, again, we can form up here and charge in. These hoplites can maybe start to push up so they can engage that. I'm not sure how long it takes for a unit to, like, rally. Like, if this unit doesn't get involved in combat for too long, are they going to come back from routing? I'm actually not sure how long it takes until that check comes in. But we should be able to get close to there to help out. They're continuing to charge this, so, oh god, yeah, we need to come over here and we need to get you guys back. Yeah, luckily these guys are on recoil, which is actually really good for us because now we can even bring down this unit of cavalry through. And these are decent units as well. We obviously would not win that right now. We're being hammered here by missiles, and this unit has been pretty heavily harassed right now as well. So we're going to push in these pikes. They're already disorganized. There's a lot of soldiers coming in. We need to help out, but yeah, this right flank is probably going to fall as our left flank comes in and does its thing. It's charging that cavalry right now. Again, more cavalry just to help out. This unit can keep on coming down the battle line. Yeah, before we even charged in here, these guys are fragmented and routing. We're really cleaning up this flank, and killing that general was just absolutely huge. And I quite like the battles as well. I feel like the graphically, like, it looks like Rome 1 remastered. But that's fine with me. I have no issue with that whatsoever. And as I said, I think it looks pretty cool, especially when the battles are this in depth. So we could maybe just try and break this unit. But I think our goal is just to bring everyone down. And look at that. Alexander just wins. We break enough of the enemy force. So again, a lot when it comes to battles isn't about just dominating and destroying the enemy. It's about causing big routes and killing enough of the enemy forces so they retreat. This is more of a scripted battle. So again, the Athenians are planned to break at that small time. But you saw how we dismantled the enemy. So now we can go to a new battle, and I believe we can do one more. Yes, now we could move on to the next one. So Alexander marches on Thrace to deal with the revolt of the King Syramus. Right there, they are supported by Gaetae steppe nomads, and Alexander himself brings some locals to his alliance. So again, we can choose between more pikes or more. These are both pikes. These are hoplites. These are pike. And I think I'm gonna actually take. We could pick some Greek cavalry, but I think I'd prefer to have 2 units of extra hoplites to my line as we go in. So let's dive in. We'll do another battle just to again show off more of the game. But yeah, I love the fact that, you know, it's all about just trying to break the enemy, wrapping up a flank and causing mass panic. I love the effects of being able to like cause big problems, and, you know, focusing down and just breaking the enemy line is something I'm a big fan of. So here's our army. Again, it's a little bit smaller than I think the last battle was actually. I mean, we haven't got as elite soldiers at all, but we can still sort them out nonetheless. Okay, so looking at the battlefield, I'm not sure if we're planning on attacking them or they're planning on attacking us. You can see they have a lot of decent soldiers as well. Yeah, a lot more of these nomads, which are going to be a pain to deal with. Horse archers just going to shoot us and run away. And then we've got a lot of lighter Thracian infantry. And there's a lot of tough terrain as well. So we're going to be a little bit careful because, again, units fight worse on, especially pikemen fight much worse on this terrain. We're going to push our way up a little bit and keep the formation as steady as possible. We do have 2 units of archers, which are going to be very useful. So again, if we press this and then is it control? Yeah, we can see where the units are. It'd be nice if that was just like, it just showed you where all the units were going anyway. Because yeah, right now we can't really see too much. As I said, that this cavalry is going to be a pain. Let's have a look at exactly what they have. So it's horse archers and then whatever's in that forest. I think that's heavier cavalry right there. Okay, again, we do want to just push these guys forward. So let's bring them up. And again, we have this lighter heavy mercenary infantry here as well. I believe these guys are basically skirmishers that we can use to pelt this, which I might throw forward right here. Is that a general unit? Yes, the unit of heavier javelin cab. Okay, cool. But we're going to be getting harassed. So what I might do is I might bring my archers over here to hopefully try and warn off a bit of this cavalry, right? So we'll bring these guys round. We obviously need to keep these guys up into the forest right there. Yeah, and again, you can see, again, this unit is out of position. So it is having to have a courier sent to it to actually shoot it and actually do something. We do have some lighter cavalry, right? Yeah, you guys are already harassing them, which is fine with me. They're harassing me. But yeah, you guys come over here with both our missiles. We should be okay. And with you guys coming up as well, we'll be okay. Again, these skirmisher battles are always pretty difficult to deal with, honestly, because you'll charge them and then they'll run away. So again, we want to try and catch them as the courier is moving in and out. But we'll continue to fire. Again, if we can deal with this cavalry, then it's going to be nice. It's just being able to catch them, basically, is the problem. So terrain is a bit of an issue. We can try and engage this cavalry, but it is just going to run away from us, which is a big problem. These guys are forced to charge right now, so we are going to engage this unit, which is great for us. We should end up. Oh, it's actually pretty close. It's actually pretty close. Okay, well, if they're going to charge me, we'll push up here and we'll bring you guys in as well. On this side as well, you can see they are just charging away. We're going to keep our general as close as possible to them. Yeah, we got some horse archers there. We did manage to catch them, but again, they are just going to pull back, and that does give us some time to move our archers to help out here as both sides just disengage. You guys should be able to charge that. And we've got this infantry coming up as well. Can we just tell them to get stuck into combat? yeah, we want to basically get these guys up. We should win this just because we have superior heavy cavalry. This is light and nomad cavalry right now that has been goaded into combat. So again, we just kind of got too close to the enemy, and it's caused that issue right there. Again, when we can catch the enemy cavalry, we're going to be just dominating it, Again, with more missiles coming in, which means you guys can probably come in there. We should be able to hopefully wipe this horse off the map. Our archers are now busy elsewhere as they bring on some more. We did actually get disordered here. Okay, not good. Alexander should be okay, though, right? He should be okay. Can you guys shoot that? What's our range on these guys? Yeah. Can you guys move up and maybe for a little javelin volley there? I'm hoping you guys will come back from routing and reorganize as best as you can. Yeah, we have some more cavalry here, so actually you guys come over there. We've done a pretty good job here. Again, let's just finish up this cavalry. We'll bring in some more, and then I think we have to bring the infantry up as well. So let's select all the infantry right here, and let's start bringing the infantry up to help out here. That'll obviously keep the enemy at bay. Javelins really aren't doing too much. We've reorganized here. I think I'm going to give the order to charge just to help out. Yeah, again, okay, let's bring you guys up as well. There's more couriers moving as well. Yeah, our command structure is nowhere near as good here. You guys are been goaded. Yeah, so these guys are forced to come in. They've been like hit by javelins and stuff, and that's basically telling them to engage, which is fine. We're doing damage here. We've routed those. Need you guys to charge after those. And then this general can hold the line here. Get ready to come back. We're moving on more infantry. If you take a look at their infantry, yeah, so Thracian sword's going to be scary. These spears, though, should be okay. I mean, again, we can double check. We win those. That's basically a draw for the most part. Yeah, and our infantry should basically clean these battles up if we can. Yeah, pretty nicely. You guys are moving in there. Again, this unit is just getting absolutely hammered. And we need this combat to win. I mean, again, it's pretty much in our favor. You guys are going to get ready to throw a javelin volley there as well. We'll go back up to normal speed as well. We also should have a unit of cavalry. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are doing. Oh, you're just harassing in the center, but yeah, come back right there. You guys are chasing. Do we not have a... Where's our other unit of cavalry? Oh, here? Okay, that's fine. And again, I'm not sure if we should be charging. I assume we shouldn't be, right? We make our way in. I assume we shouldn't be the ones charging. Because now we've engaged pretty aggressively down the line. I imagine we're going to win pretty nicely. Can you guys charge that, please? And then you guys come in and fill in. Yeah, they outnumber us kind of heavily on this flank, but we've disorganized that cav, which is great. We'll bring these guys up to help. You guys are just getting hammered. We're going to charge in Alexander to try and scare these guys off. And then use you to basically just warn off that cavalry. Again, we can do some stuff here because of that. We have some more skirmisher cavalry on that flank. And yeah, they've got a lot of javelins, of course. So you guys can charge that. And you guys can charge that if the messenger gets there in time. I think they might just charge by themselves. Yeah, they'll just charge by themselves, I think. And we're going to move in this general here, bring up you guys again. And again, we're just looking to try and break the enemy line before they can harass us. Missiles change focus there. You guys are back from routing. So let's maybe try to get you around. It's not going to be that far to get something. We've immediately disorganized this unit right here. The disordered unit here is going to be up against it. Here as well, we're fragmented. I don't want to over push my battle line, but obviously people pushing forward is also going to be a wary situation. So again, this force has a lot of skirmishers to deal with. Where did our unit of companions go? You guys? No. You guys break? No, that's just cavalry. Are they out here? Oh yeah, Alexander is still chasing this unit down. No, they're fully engaged there, which should be going in my favor, right? I would imagine. Doesn't look like we are being pretty overwhelmed. Can we just like fall back now? Yeah, can we just tell these guys to fall back and try and reform the line? We are breaking that line. Yeah, you guys have broken there now. We can push up some more pikes. Cleaned up this flank. You guys have broken them, which is perfect. And now we can start bringing around more infantry to help out. They've been able to obviously get in my flank here, which is not good. But we also have missiles shooting them and stuff. Like, this will do damage to them. I'm hoping, yeah, finally, Alexander has been able to clean up this unit, route it off the field. When he can, please come back. But he's just going to basically be there to organize now. Same with you guys as well. We do not want these guys engaged. If we can, I think I want to start bringing units around. You guys have been fragmented, but that's fine. I want to probably just reorganize my line a little bit because we're pretty messy. And yeah, this flank is not looking great. We can also organize like these skirmishes just a charge. There are just the kind of lighter peltists there. But one thing I really like about, and we're actually getting smashed here with our cavalry. Yeah, Alexander's busy. He's not come back yet, which is fine. But yeah, we definitely need to make our way back here. Can we just keep on? Nice. Breaking bows is them are good. We want to keep on pushing forward there. So we'll tell them to push forward. Do we come around here to help out and just break this? Again, you want to be so careful turning your flank. Okay, we've won that as well, which is nice. We can bring up there. You guys are recoiling. Don't know why you guys are recoiling. Oh, they engaged my general as well. Not good. Not good at all. We have this cavalry though still up. We're just taking so much damage from skirmishes, man. Yeah, just get stuck in then. You guys come into here. You guys keep on pushing. I think you guys just go into that where we need help. They've broken this flank. Alexander is finally back, so let's try and rush him back over through pretty poor terrain in the hopes that he'll be able to get stuck in. I'm hoping this unit will break. Oh, and we won. Boom. Nice. We broke enough of the enemy. 47% of it. Again, mainly the right flank. And yeah, these campaign battles, it seems like the AI does break a lot quicker. But you can see we managed to break their cavalry, which added a lot to their score and able to bring them down. You can also adjust this as well if you want the AI to stick around a little bit more. Generally, it's about 67 to 80%. But again, it's normally a big difference as well. So if you have 10% losses, for example, but the AI has close to 65%, because there's a big 50% difference in the battle of routing units, you're going to be able to claim that victory. However, if I'm at 55% losses and they're at like 60% losses, they're not going to break. The battle is still close. It's just because we're overrunning them in a big oomph. That's one reason that I really dig this game, because you can be like losing a battle, or like you're going to be losing a battle in the future, but if you make a big bold play and you can break enough of the enemy in one go, you can kind of cause this chain reaction and win the battle that way, even if in a prolonged fight you'd end up losing. Also, it really encourages like mobility as well, being able to move units into position fast and causing enemies to do stuff that they shouldn't do and get them out of position is really deadly. That's going to do it for today's video. If you guys want to see maybe more of this, if you guys want to see maybe some of the reenactment battles right here, which are absolutely massive, again, if I load into this one right here and I show you guys the sheer scale of these engagements, they can get pretty crazy. They can get pretty long. Yeah, I mean, look at the sheer scale of this. It gets pretty crazy as both sides come in. And of course, at first, you might be a little bit like overwhelmed with it. But once you start getting the systems, understanding units, and you can pause and go on slow-mo a lot of the time to figure stuff out, it becomes really, really fun. Just the sheer scale of these engagements, and the battles as well are really awesome. And I really wish, later on down the line, the developer can add in like some form of multiplayer as well, because fighting these battles against an actual person would just be absolutely insane. So yeah, if you guys want to see a battle like this, drop a like, drop a comment down below, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.